avoiding a dieting disaster from the beginning. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. I've got 3 key strategies that I have learned during my journey of losing and maintaining 100-pound weight loss for the last 14 plus years that I'm going to share with you tonight, really getting you off on a good foot. My name is CJ Johnson, and my passion is helping people just like you, people who are over the age of 40, look and feel their best and age the way that you want to age. So as I was putting this together, one of the things that I love to do is I teach skiing in the wintertime. So I work with a lot of people, not just kids, but adults, and I work with a lot of people who are skiing for the very first time. There's a lot of people who come to me who have never skied before, but they've done their homework. They know something about the resort. They have looked online. They've decided to take some lessons. They've rented equipment. They've done a little research. They arrive with gloves and hats. They're ready to go and ski. In a day, child or adult, I can have you up, stopping, making turns, and having some fun. Sure, you might fall a little bit, but I can help you as a professional instructor, as a professional ski instructor. I can help you to have fun and achieve your goals. But there's this other group of people who also come, and you'd be surprised how many times we see them too. They show up, you know, we're in Nevada and California. I work at Squaw in California, and flip-flops are the footwear all year long. Sometimes even when they come to the mountains, which I got to tell you, that kind of blows my mind. But anyway, they may come in flip-flops, and I've seen them come without glasses. We're at 6,000 feet, and it's pretty sunny. We get 320 days of sunshine here a year. Without goggles, without gloves. The wind might be blowing up on top. They're dressed for warm temperatures at the bottom. Many times they don't come for instruction. They decide they're going to have their friends who barely know how to stand up on a pair of skis teach them. Now, think about those 2 scenarios for just a second. Which one do you think is going to have a better time learning how to ski? It's really the people who got started off on the right foot. The same thing is true about dieting. If we're going to make a lifestyle change, making any kind of change is tough. Period. It's just habit changes are really hard. That's the hardest thing we do, right? So if we're going to make a lifestyle change, getting started on the right foot is going to help us to ultimately make that change. So let me know. We're going to jump into this in just a second, but if you are planning to start a weight management program in 2018, give me a little thumbs up or put a yes down below. Maybe you've already started one. But even if you have, you're going to get some great information on how to really get yourself going. So let's go ahead and we're going to get into this and talk about the key things on avoiding a disastrous start to your diet. Now, here's what I want to show you. How did I get back to that? Hang on one second. Little tech difficulty here. Oh, okay. All right. You're going to have to give me 1 second because this is definitely something that I need to fix. And I can do this. Of course, it's kind of hard to do it under pressure, right? That's what I kind of got to laugh at because otherwise you're just going to have just the picture. You're not going to have me inside of the picture. So I can fix this, and we're almost there. I almost have it. Thank you. There we go. There we go. Hey, I did something techie. Anyway, this is me at 38 years old. That was a bright red Ralph Lauren suit. I had bought it specifically for this picture. I had just received an award. In fact, I had received a lot of accolades, professional accolades that year. I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable. I was overweight. I had started to ski again after a very long hiatus. It became very clear to me that if I didn't change something about my body, I was going to get hurt because I grew up skiing and I grew up ski racing. So I had this 16-year-old mentality, and the body that you see in this picture over here on the left. So I needed to do something about my weight. Some of this I kind of fell into fairly easily, but I got to tell you, some of it I wish I had the internet and all that stuff, which really was just kind of fledgling at that point in time. But that's where I started. So I know a thing or two about starting a weight management plan. So here's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about some of the disasters, and this is really kind of break it down into 4 kind of key areas. We're going to talk about picking your poison. We're going to talk about a pencil, some prizes. Who doesn't like a prize, right? And then we're going to get to it and we're going to go. So the very first thing here is picking your plan. Picking your plan and the weight management plan that you're going to be on, what you need to think about weight loss is this. Weight loss is a lifestyle change. There are no ifs, ands, or buts. It is not easy. Weight loss is a temporary journey. I'm like fumbling my own words. Weight loss is a temporary journey. A lifestyle change is lasting. I have made lifestyle changes along the way. That's the only reason that my weight loss has become permanent for me. It doesn't have anything to do with I have more willpower, or I'm smarter, or I work harder, or I do all those things. I made some habit changes, and I think that anybody can make those habit changes, but a good plan is going to help you to get to the right place. So unless you're doing a medically supervised plan, and perhaps you are, and perhaps that's what you need, I've chosen 3 types of plans, and it's because really that I've had personal experience with these plans, and I can speak to you from that experience. So the first couple of plans that I'm going to share with you are both Jenny Craig and Nutrisystem. I tried these plans prior to actually losing and taking off my weight. And there's some great pros and cons, because there's a lot of people who have lost weight on these. And I will tell you, I successfully lost weight on both of these plans. I didn't successfully keep the weight off. And there's a couple of reasons why. But the positive about these is you don't have to cook. And at the time when I tried these plans, I wasn't a cook. You don't have to cook. It's super duper convenient. You're opening up packages. You don't have to think about what you're going to eat, and you can get support. Now, at the time I tried Jenny Craig, you had to go in once a week to the center to pick up your food. I know that things are a little bit different now, but both of these, both Jenny Craig as well as Nutrisystem, offer different levels of support. So there's a lot of pros there. The cons? Well, first of all, you're eating a lot of processed food. And the more we process something, the less healthier it is for us. For me, truly the biggest con was I didn't learn how to change my lifestyle habits. I didn't learn how to cook. I didn't learn what I was going to need to do to maintain the weight loss that I got when I was on these 2 programs. So for me, that was a con. I put back on all the weight. I successfully lost weight. Let me get to the next one here. I successfully lost weight with Weight Watchers. Now, at the time, when I went on my weight management plan, they had just launched their points program online. I was a busy executive at that point in time working inside of corporate golf. It was perfect for me. I could jump on the computer. I could record what I ate. I didn't have to go to meetings. The point system was pretty easy to learn. It was super convenient for me. One of the other things is if you're the kind of person who doesn't do so well online, there are meetings available to you. I mean, Weight Watchers has been around for a long time, and there's a lot of people who have had a lot of success on Weight Watchers, and I certainly did. One of the big pros for me is you learn how to measure things. You learn how to cook. You learn how to make meals. It wasn't all processed foods. Now, one of the big cons for me, I was kind of a carb and sugar-aholic, and I was also a processed food junkie. I really didn't cook I didn't cook at all when I started this program. What I could do and what I learned, I could make everything that I was eating still fit inside of my points. I had to control portion size, so I was successful at it, but ultimately I wasn't necessarily changing a lot of the way that I ate. So, and the other thing to me is what I've learned since is Weight Watchers really doesn't reward you for eating foods that are pretty high in protein. High protein helps with muscle growth. It doesn't have to be an Atkins plan or anything like that, because I think Atkins has some great points to it. The protein definitely helps us. We need the protein to help to build muscles, plain and simple. We lose about 1% of our muscle mass after the age of 40. Another very simple fact. So we need everything we can to help us to build muscle. What I don't believe about Atkins is the low carb, or no carb in that case, portion of the diet. Everything really needs to be done in moderation. And I just kind of felt that Weight Watchers doesn't always reward you for some of the muscle building. But again, it's a great plan. It's easy. It's convenient. It's relatively, moderately priced. So there's a lot of good things to this plan as well. The next plan is a plan that was actually introduced back in 2013. So after I'd lost all that weight on Weight Watchers, one of the downsides is anytime you lose weight without building muscle and using that protein using protein as part of your diet to build muscle, one of the downsides is for every 10 pounds you lose, 3 to 4 pounds of that is actually muscle. So I lost weight on the scale, but my body fat percentage was relatively high. When this TR90 system came out in 2013, I really didn't have a lot of weight to lose, maybe just a couple of pounds, but I wanted to build muscle. I really wanted to change my shape, and it was based on the latest in genetic science, which is getting our genes to express themselves differently as we age, as it comes to weight. So different science of gene expression. It was also the food and meal plans were based on the latest in food science, food research science. So I was super excited to try TR90. And when I did, I lost about 12 pounds. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but as I said, I didn't have much to lose. But I lost 22 inches. It reshaped and it changed my body. So TR90 was really truly one of those cutting edge products that helped me to rechange. So I think all three of these have a great, they have a great track record. They can help you do anything. But the bottom line is they're not going to do it for you. They're just here to help you. So pick the one that works best. I'm going to put links to all of these down below. Little forewarning, I am going to tell you TR90 is one of those products. It's a company that I work with that they make great products, and they make products that actually work, and that's why I work with that particular company. So just a little disclaimer up front so that everybody knows. But I'll put a link down below to all of these particular plans. But no matter what plan you choose, you need to look at it and review the plan thoroughly. So choose the plan, pick one that fits you, and then go through the booklet. Make sure you understand what is the eating plan like. As an example, with Weight Watchers, you're probably going to be doing a lot of your own cooking. With the Jenny Craig and the Nutrisystem, you have a lot of prepackaged food. With TR90, you're going to do a combination of some shakes and some cooking. So you kind of get the best of both worlds there. But ultimately, you need to pick what fits best into your diet, and then understand exactly what it is and how it can help you. Once you do that, take a look at how setting your goals. And if you missed it, last week I did a whole series on setting goals. So I'll put a link down below into that. Setting goals, look into what type of support you have. All of these have different levels of support. Perhaps you need the face-to-face of a meeting. As an example, with TR90, we have a daily call, as well as, I'm going to throw in a little shameless plug here, I do weight loss coaching. Don't have to be on the TR90 plan. You can be on your own plan, but I do weight loss coaching. Sometimes people really need the one-on-one accountability and one-on-one help. And other times you can do it just by sitting at a computer and journaling and tracking. So pick a plan and review it thoroughly. Just don't grab something willy-nilly. That is not a good way to get off to a good start. So if you've got that down below, just going to check the comments over here. Cool. All right, go ahead and give me a little thumbs up. All right, let's get on to the next one. Okay, here's a big one. I think this is one of the keys that I have been What happened to me here? I got to tell you, I have a sharpening your pencil. I know that sounds weird, doesn't it? In fact, I got to show you this. I love pencils for certain projects. This is my pencil sharpener. I had this big fancy electric one and it didn't work. This is what the guy at the office supply store says work. So sharpen your pencil. And what I mean by sharpening your pencil when it comes to weight loss is this, is journaling. There is nothing else that I can tell you that's been more important to my weight loss plan than journaling. Now, studies have shown people who journal lose more weight than people who don't journal. Repeatedly, time and time and time again. So I don't care what plan you've chosen, journal it. Now, there's a couple of things that that I like in terms of journaling. A couple of apps that I like in terms of journaling. These are two of my favorites. Now, you may choose to do it the old-fashioned way, grab a pen and paper and do it that way. Okay, great. That's wonderful. There's a lot of science also that says writing it down in your own hand is very important to how we remember things. The downside to the handwritten journal is that it doesn't track your calorie counts and your nutritional counts specifically. No, that was hard to say. Specifically, your protein versus your carbohydrates versus your sugar, those types of things. These apps are great and they will do it for you. Now, my two favorite out there are MyFitnessPal and Lose It. And here's what I'll tell you. They have free and they have premium versions. Everything you really need is inside the free version. You do not have to do the premium version, but everything's inside that free version. So first of all, MyFitnessPal, and kind of the difference that I think between the two is MyFitnessPal has the better food log. So when you type something in, it's easier to find it, especially if it's like a brand name. Both of these do have a barcode scanner, but I think the library or the database of foods is a little bit more comprehensive inside of MyFitnessPal versus Lose It. The big thing with Lose It that I really love is I can email my food journal to someone. So when I'm coaching a client, we usually use the Lose It app just because at the end of the day, they can send me that journal so I can see what they've eaten. And for most of us, we need a little bit of accountability. If you know that you have to send that to somebody, you're probably more diligent about not only writing it down, but the important thing is write it down before you eat it. You need to be proactive with your food journal, not reactive. Reactive is, I overate my plan by 500 calories. Okay. How about being proactive and saying, ooh, these are the number of calories that I have left to spend. Maybe I'm going to make this choice versus that, or eat that, not this. So anybody ever used a food journal? If you have, put it down below. Have you ever used one of these apps? And which one do you like better? Because they will help you. People who use a food journal are going to lose about 2 more times the weight than people who don't use a food journal. And science is showing that pretty regularly. So those are a couple of things that, to start off, we've talked about getting the plan, getting on the plan, now using your journal, and now rewards. I don't know about you. I love prizes. I love rewards. And again, last week's show, I talked in detail about goals. If you missed it, it'll be down in the show notes down below. Go back and click it. But one of those things is rewarding yourself along the way, giving yourself prizes. So if you set some goals, and first of all, I'm just going to say real briefly, your goals should not just be about the number on the scale. They could be things like clothing size. They could be energy levels. They could be measurements of your body. It might be your body fat percentage. You can make up any goal you want. And actually, you should have multiple goals, because if you're trying to lose, and most of us, right, 20 pounds, if you're trying to lose 20 pounds, you're on this weight journey for 3 months, for about 90 days. That's what it's going to probably take most of us to lose, about 20 pounds. Make some goals along the way, and then plan some non-food rewards. Remember, I said non-food rewards. So here are a few of my favorite non-food rewards. I love new workout clothes, right? That was always one of my big ones, especially as I was losing weight. I wanted something that now maybe fit me. And just a t-shirt. It didn't have to be anything fancy. That can be pretty inexpensive. How about a new playlist? Music helps me tremendously to make it through really tough and challenging workouts. So a new playlist could be a reward. How about a little bit of alone time? I love this picture of this gal sitting down in just what seems to be such a relaxing place and actually reading a book. As fast as our society is this day, alone time is such a big thing for many of us now. Even taking a nap, right? Just kicking back and saying, hey, I am going to treat myself to 1 week of 15-minute naps this week. Or heading off to a spa, getting a manicure, a pedicure, a massage, doing something special for yourself that doesn't have food attached to it. In fact, I have, I'm going to, down below in the show notes, I've got a couple of websites that have tons of different ideas for non-food rewards. So make sure as you set up your goal that you choose some of those non-food rewards. So check out the show notes just a little bit later. So of course now we've picked our plan, we're journaling, and we're ready with our non-food rewards. Now we are actually ready to go. Now's the time to go. So there's a couple more things that will help you. Number one, you've set some goals. You need to take some measurements. As I said, it is not just about the number of the scale. And this is the painful part. This is the part when I look back at pictures like I showed you in the beginning where I weighed over 250 pounds, I cringe. Now, I wish I had more of those pictures because that shows my success and it makes me very happy to see some of those pictures now. But when I was taking them, it stunk. Measure yourself, get your body fat percentage, take some pictures. Make sure you take them from the front and from the back. Those pictures can be really valuable to you later with helping you stay on a weight management plan, especially when you sit back there and look at it and go, wow, here's how I've changed. Another thing, go get some measuring cups. So, some of these plans are going to tell you, including, the TR90 plan, the meal plan tells you, take your hand and here's your hand and it's a cup of this and it's the size of your palm and a deck of cards. And those are all great starting points. But if you really want to get serious about this and you want to lose weight, here's the bottom line. You need to change portion sizes. Our portion sizes are way too big. And the way you understand what a portion size is you measure it. You get measuring cups, you get a small scale, that type of thing. So you can actually start to see what the calories you're putting into your body are. Because even when we food journal, it's estimated that we underestimate our calorie intake by 20% because we don't actually measure it. Well, 20% is the difference between losing a pound and keeping a pound on. So measure it. Another thing that's important, if you've decided that you're going to be on one of the plans where you're going to do some cooking, food chopper, I gotta tell you, it's killer good. Get a food chopper. My favorite one comes from Pampered Chef. I'm gonna put a link down below. I know there's a lot of them out on the market, but this one has lasted a long time. I chop lots of stuff, so it's a really good one. Another thing, clean up your house. And I don't mean make it clean. And I don't mean make your car clean or make your desk at work. Make it clean from food. There are so many times that we stash food in drawers at work. I know I used to do that all the time, that there might be food in the car, in our homes, that we have chips and pretzels and snacks and all those types of things. Before you start your plan, get rid of the foods that are going to tempt you, because if you leave those foods there, chances are you're going to be tempted, and before you know it, you're going to have blown your diet, and then you're going to feel crappy and kind of all this stuff. So get rid of the stuff. Have a talk with your family. There are so many times that maybe you need to lose weight and maybe your family doesn't. Your spouse doesn't, your kids don't. Have a talk with them and get them in your corner. They might be junk food eaters. My husband is a snacker. He is a king-size snacker. So we kind of have a rule that he can have snacks, but they're nothing that I want. So he brings home his own snacks. He's in control of that. He has chocolates. He's also the kind of person who can eat, like the Ghirardelli squares, that little piece, that little square. He can eat, I'm serious, I still can't do this. We buy this big bag, he eats one chocolate every single night. So our rule is he has to hide those, because if I know where they are, I'm going to eat 10 chocolates every single night. Have a talk with your family. Get them to support you. Next thing is, now you need to go to the grocery store, because even if you're on one of the pre-done meal programs, you're probably going to need to have some snacks, some healthy snacks around the house. So go to the grocery store, pick up some healthy foods so that you're ready to get started on your plan. Now, just a caution, the grocery store can be it can be a landmine. It can be tough to navigate a grocery store, especially when you're new to a plan. If that's the case, most stores have e-carts. You can shop online and you can just go there to pick it up, and you don't even have to go into the store. So if that's the case, try an e-cart. Now you are finally ready to pick a day. So once you've done those things, go ahead and pick your day. And some people, it takes them a week to go through this process. Some people 2 weeks, some people 2 days. But don't shortcut yourself inside of the process when you're picking a day. Because getting it started correctly is definitely one of those things that can help you in terms of long-term weight loss. So let's look back at those again. Pick your method. Pick how you're going to lose weight, know it and understand it, know it intimately. Get out a journal, download one of those apps onto your smartphone, either Lose It or MyFitnessPal. Plan some non-food rewards. Remember, I'm going to have some links down below. And now you are ready to get started. I didn't tell you this earlier. I wish I had. But, you know, I've got for you, for sticking around, here's what I've got. I have got something. Oh, there's another picture of me again. Oh my goodness, yuck. Well, not yuck. I'm really happy that I look like this and not like that, which proves that anybody can do it. But so here's what I've got for you. I've got this free special report. There are so many myths and just downright fallacies or things that have been proven wrong by science. And these are the top 20 health and fitness myths of 2018. So if you jump over to agewellwithcj.com/20 myths, you can download this free report. And I have to tell you, number one is, for still a lot of people, the very top one, they just don't, people go, really? That's changed? And they don't understand that there are certain things that they're doing that could be hurting them and not necessarily helping them. Now, you probably noticed I didn't talk a lot about exercise. This is really getting started on your food plan. And I believe that's because you need to build one habit at a time. When I first started, I started with the food plan, and then I added exercise into it about 6 weeks later or so. And that's what we're going to talk about next week, is I'm going to help you to get started getting in the best shape of your life. How do you put a good exercise program in place, or how do you increase the plan you're already on to get into that phenomenal shape? So I'm going to be back here next week, same time, same place, 6 p.m. Pacific time, and we'll be talking about exercise. So in the meantime, together we can train smart, live bold, and age well. Good night.